sempre. Capture broken car. Capture. Wait, nah, that's none. I was distracted. So you want me to sleep? Hindi mo tatanda. Nice. Alright, very nice. So tanaw na ako. Something hunt. I'd like to watch something while hunting. Something while hunting. before. Kanang mga video essay. Nga akong ganahan. Kanina na. Ba't lagi ni?
Chances are you've jumped into versus mode at least once. And honestly, the experience there is not great. There is no proper ranking or MMR system, lobbies are completely random, and player skill varies wildly. New players get kicked all the time, and the community can be just as toxic as the spitter herself.
No, 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 no. Wait.
Despite the mod's massive potential, there's great teamwork, creative infected strategies, Versus often devolves into pure chaos. Games fall apart, lineups completely change, and it's rare to even finish a full lobby with the same players. But did you know that Left 4 Dead 2 actually has tournaments and even some pro players? Even in a game that was never really designed to be competitive, there are elite players, real matches, and even some leagues. Today, I want to talk about an unknown side of Left 4 Dead 2 that's genuinely fascinating. What Versus should look like in an ideal world and how you can still play it even in 2026. But first, let me ask you a simple question. Who do you think would win? Terrifying, physically powerful mutated infected, or some tired, hungry, lost survivors? Even though the game is obviously framed as a horror survival story about four struggling heroes, players eventually turn the survivors into just killing machines, and this applies to all three game modes. These four Terminators can clear rooms and open spaces like an elite squad of special forces. Over the years, the average skill level in Left 4 Dead 2 has skyrocketed, and top tier survival players can effortlessly gun down any infected. As a result, Versus ends up being unexpectedly harder for the zombies, not the humans. Versus itself also uses a very simple and, honestly, I would say primitive scoring system. Two teams take turns playing as survivors and infected. The team that scores more points as survivors wins. The farther you make it through the map, the more points you earn. Each survivor alive at the end gives you an extra 25 points. And if both teams tie on distance, the bonus goes to the team that dealt more damage as infected. As you can probably guess, this system is flawed for a lot of reasons. The biggest issue is that the game doesn't reward clean, coordinated play at all. You can reach the safe room without taking a single hit, save all your medkits, and it barely matters. Those 25 bonus points are tiny compared to the overall score of the game. Very soon modders and experienced players started changing the rules. But to understand why, we need a bit of Left 4 Dead history. Versus has always been asymmetrical, and skilled survivors have always had a huge advantage. We already talked about that, but I gotta say, even in the first Left 4 Dead, it became obvious that infected had very little they could do against a very well coordinated team. Versus maps are packed with medkits, peels, pipe bombs and molotovs. A good team can easily show hunters away and also blitz through maps at lightning speed. Once tier 2 weapons, assault rifles and fast-firing shotguns become available, the infected basically stop being a big threat. The game just turns into target practice, and shooting in Left 4 Dead 2 is very forgiving. There is low recoil and low spread. In addition to that, experienced players figured out that you can just quickly rush big sections of the map while the special infected are on cooldown, which means you only get so many opportunities to land a perfect combo attack. Left 4 Dead 2 also has some limitations on common infected. If here are too many of them, the game won't spawn more, which means you can rush through, leave the zombies behind, and run through almost empty sections of the map, which again makes the whole game significantly easier. The only real way for the infected to deal serious damage is through the witch or the tank. The witch isn't much of a threat since experienced players can crown her with a shotgun. Even in public versus, that's a common knowledge nowadays. The tank is a different story, of course, but even then, everything depends on the environment. In some locations he is devastating, and in others he is nearly useless. It all comes down to terrain, cars, dumpsters to throw, and also team support and where the survivors choose to fight him. In open areas, the tank is weak and it has to rely on buying time and waiting for his teammates to do some damage, and that's why he's just throwing rocks somewhere from the roof. And basically even this doesn't really work this well because players learn to shoot the rocks in the air. And because of this, infected players started to rely heavily on coordinated insta-kill setups. They are known as 3+1 or quad. These were different names for the very same idea: instantly wiping the survivor team using grabbing infected. In Left 4 Dead 1 this meant 3 hunters and the smoker. In Left 4 Dead 2 it became charger, jockey, smoker and hunter, and pulling this off consistently was extremely difficult, which is why successful executions often ended up in frag movies on YouTube. But this was a big problem in Left 4 Dead 1, which lacked chargers and spitters, and there was no way to reliably deal damage. So because of that, players began creating configs to make survivor gameplay harder, and one of the first was Seva config, used in ESL and most early tournaments. This first version removed all tier 2 weapons from the game, medkits were only available in safe rooms and no longer spawned throughout the map. Every map guaranteed at least one tank. This dramatically increased the infected's chances of wiping teams and made the game far more balanced and exciting. Eventually, even that was not enough because survivors kept evolving faster than the zombies. Seva was replaced by Rotoblin, which pushed things even further. Now medkits were replaced with pills and additional balance tweaks were introduced. Pills were really great because they forced the survivors to act quickly, and if they were slowed down, their HP was ticking and it was like a big increase in difficulty. So overall, this became the gold standard for competitive Left 4 Dead 1. For a brief time, Left 4 Dead even had small ESL leagues, but it didn't last very long because Valve released Left 4 Dead 2 just a year later with new weapons, maps, and of course the new balance. In Left 4 Dead 2, both survivors and infected gained powerful new tools. The new special infected are far stronger than their Left 4 Dead 1 counterparts. The Spitter basically prevents safe camping in tight rooms, and this was a popular tactic used to battle boomers and hunters. The Charger can easily get some insta-kills or knock survivors off ledges, which makes certain map sections extremely stressful, and it gives infected the ability to secure consistent advantages, or even win maps outright in a single blow. At the same time though, survivors got melee weapons, and these completely counter hordes and make dealing with boomers trivial. Even 40 common infected aren't nearly as dangerous as they used to be, back when survivors had to rely on showing or they could run out of ammo, and this was a big issue. Even with more complex maps and brutal crescendo events, survivors still bulldoze through everything like Terminators. And as soon as a lobby fills with 70 competent players, the fun starts disappearing again and it becomes very much one-sided. And that's not even the biggest issue. Left 4 Dead 2 has no real matchmaking or MMR system. You can end up with total beginners doing random nonsense, or maybe some hardcore veterans with thousands of hours who will kick you for the smallest mistake. Players leave every 5 to 10 minutes, and by the 4th or 5th map, the entire roster is often composed from absolutely different players. All of this makes the experience incredibly inconsistent. You might waste 1 or 2 hours in absolutely miserable games, or once in a while, you find the perfect lobby and play a full campaign packed with epic moments. But most of the time, you just get kicked or called every slur in the book. Because of this, most experienced players nowadays play on private servers with custom rules. Newbies usually cannot really find these servers, so of course the overall match quality is much higher and far more competitive. Some of these servers run professional configs, which makes the gameplay more serious. But at the same time, some servers go in a completely different and honestly pretty dumb direction. They have things like player-controlled witches. That stuff can be fun, of course, but it completely ruins the balance and immersion, and personally, I don't like them very much. And of course, toxic teammates never really go away. Team balance is still an issue, because your random stack might be just weaker overall, and players still live after failed rounds or bad moments. There is no MMR, so it's completely random. And many of these servers also have closed communities, and you kinda don't fit in. So you feel like an outsider or an outcast joining a group of friends with their own inside jokes and memes, and people play there just to hang out with each other, and Left 4 Dead is just, some background noise for the conversation. Because of that, truly hardcore players who look for a challenge, they wanna play something else. And that demand was eventually met by two major platforms, Sedapack and Left 4 Dead Central. I personally played most of my matches on Sedapack, so I'll focus on that. But overall, the two platforms are quite similar. They introduce strict rule sets, proper matchmaking, and an MMR system. Unlike standalone servers, Sedapack is a full platform. You register, queue up, and wait for opponents at your rating level. Once a match is found, a map is selected, and you join the server through IP. You are not allowed to leave the match until it's fully finished, otherwise you get a temporary ban. And this is where real competitive Left 4 Dead 2 begins, in a format that's very close to actual tournaments and leagues. As you can probably tell, getting there is not really easy, but this experience is absolutely worth it. Matches are taken very seriously. Players actively communicate, they support each other, and they do everything they can to win every single match. Playing in a coordinated team like that feels amazing, and competing against truly skilled opponents on equal feels even better. This version of Left 4 Dead is completely different from vanilla. You genuinely need to cooperate with your teammates and give it everything you've got. And that's what makes it so interesting. It reveals a totally different side of this game. You start tracking infected respawn timers in your head, you clear rooms to prevent spawns and watch for them, you cover your teammates and just plan your play in advance. To me, that's a much more engaging way to play. You're fighting for every map, every point, and even every HP. Thanks to conflicts and balance changes, the game feels more competitive and therefore more interesting. Very few games can deliver that feeling of relief and adrenaline when you survive a breach, a tank, a massive horde, burn through almost all your ammunition, run out of pills, and still make it to the safe room as a full team. And in this game mode, HP count for the total score, so it's kinda important. And then it's your turn to get revenge. Now you're playing as the infected, setting up traps, syncing your attacks, and doing everything possible to pull the rug out from under the enemy team. Matches in Left 4 Dead 2 feel incredibly intense and fast-paced. The game constantly throws you on an emotional roller coaster, and that's exactly why it's fun to play, especially when it's paired with high-level competition. But that said, even here, in competitive Left 4 Dead 2, things are not exactly perfect. The first big issue is ping, and for most players it's often over 100 in many matches, which makes it much harder to show your true skill. The servers are based in South America, so if you're playing from US or maybe you're from South America, it's okay, but if you're from Europe or Asia, that can be painful. In addition, Left 4 Dead 2 has a pretty weird hitbox system, which makes it real difficult to properly hit both survivors and infected, and even with a good ping, it's an issue, but when the ping is terrible, this becomes a very big problem, because in Left 4 Dead 2 it's often a matter of life and death situation, with things like charger insta-kills or skiting hunters or jockeys. It's incredibly important, and it definitely hurts the experience, though it's still not the biggest problem. For some strange reason, Left 4 Dead 2 is massively popular in Peru, to the point where the best team in the world for a long time came from there. As a result, most players on Cedapac speak Spanish. If you don't speak Spanish, well, you have to adapt. Be ready to get called gringo and don't expect people to speak English very often, even though English is technically an option in matchmaking, but most of the time everybody still speaks Spanish, they don't really care about it. But that said, not everyone is like this, and I've had some great matches where players made an effort to translate at least some important calls for me. And what about toxicity and trash talk? Well, there is no escaping that. The skill bar here is much higher, so if you mess up a tank fight or make a mistake as a survivor or infected, get ready for some very honest feedback about your skill. A lot of it happens in Spanish though, so you might not even understand it, and I guess it's kinda good. But unlike public servers, you cannot pick teammates here, so you are stuck together until the end of the match, and even if you end up hating each other, you still have to work together to win. One important detail, MMR is calculated per map, not just by overall score, so you gotta win every single map even if you are losing the whole campaign. In theory, this should motivate people to stay and play the whole campaign, although if the start went to shit, some players, they just resort back to their old public behavior. There's also one huge downside for me personally. For some reason, final maps with evacuation are never played on Cedapac or in most competitive Left 4 Dead 2 formats. And that really sucks, because finals are often the most iconic, intense and action-packed parts of a campaign. People told me that finals are excluded because they usually turn into pure camping and defense on a small area, where survivors once again have a big advantage, even with 2 tanks. Well, also maybe finals are just too random or poorly balanced, and you know, still it hurts me to see them completely removed, because those maps are legendary and they have a lot of atmosphere and vibe. They're just exciting, you know? And also, if we get back to scoring system, the team that wins the campaign overall gets an extra map win that is added to their score. So that's pretty much how they deal with the lack of the 5th map. So high level Left 4 Dead 2 on Cedapac gives me more emotions than almost anything else in this game. There are intense matches with skilled players and insanely dramatic moments that demand full concentration. It's genuinely exciting to play, and it's also deeply rewarding. Overall, it's a great experience, but of course still far from perfect. And honestly, we'll probably never reach the ideal version of competitive Left 4 Dead, because the game was never designed to be a competitive game in the beginning, so most players even today, they see this game as a casual, fun co-op experience, and Valve has clearly moved on from Left 4 Dead 2. We probably should not even expect a 3rd game, because, you know, it's Valve, they hate number 3, and that's a real shame because the game has massive potential. Just imagine official matchmaking, proper tournaments, and some top tier teams. If Valve had decided to seriously support the competitive side of that game, it could have been something different. Sadly, that never happened, and it probably never will. Now that's it from me. Have you ever tried playing competitive Left 4 Dead 2? And if so, what was your experience? Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more games retrospective, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day.
The All-Star game got intense.
Whippy is fouled.
And we also found the guys responsible for turning the game into a circus so far. But luckily for all NBA fans, Wemby single-handedly saved the entire event.
Yeah. I told you. There's that full 8-foot wingspan in full effect. Well, they're going to clear out for this guy anyway. Wemby over Durant. Think about that. Say it again.
Seeing him give 110% on the court, the others followed immediately.
Wemby set the tone. He came out playing hard, and you know we had to follow that. And
Oh, a pick by Edwards. No numbers. Edwards for the lead. He's got it.
The first 3 games came down to the last shot, and the atmosphere was peak playoff basketball. But let's start from the beginning with this absolutely insane shot by Steph Curry from the NBC booth.
That's good. The one. That's good. That's the one. Let's go. Greatness. Greatness.
That's just Steph doing Steph things. Meanwhile, Giannis's kids were starstruck by the tall guy in the locker room before the game.
You can't see the tall guy over there. You can see the tall guy over there. Look at him. Younger, but he's not better than me. 1,000%. 1 million.
Man, Antetokounmpo is a stand-up comedian. He's hilarious. And so were Luka and Nikola at the media day. They're always messing around. So before we dive into all that madness from the actual games, let's see if KD was right when he said this.
You should ask the world team if they're going to compete. These 2 dudes out there, Luka and Jokic, they don't care about the game at all.
You could tell from their faces on the introductions that both Doncic and Jokic wanted to get this thing over with as soon as possible. But before they could even blink, Wemby declared a war on the court.
NBA All-Star Game is underway, and Team World has it first. So 12-minute game. Great way to start. Victor Wembanyama. They always reconvene right here during the February break and All-Star weekend. Wemby is 2 for 2. And will push the pace with Cunningham as running mate. They're playing for J.B. Bickerstaff, their head coach in Detroit. Wembanyama, volleyball spike.
Uh-oh, Victor Wembanyama sets the tone right off the bat with back-to-back buckets and a huge block on Durant. It's on now. But how do Luka and Nikola complement that? By jogging up and down the court ever so slowly. Not getting up for rebounds as we see Jokic yelling at his buddy for letting that one slide. Victor tried to inject some of his competitive juices to them as well, but to no avail. They're too chill to gear up for some exhibition game. Watch how Luka gets blown by Cunningham here, and then Nikola waves his hands like he's playing defense or something, just to end up watching Edwards drilling this 3 with his hands in the air. While everyone was slowly picking up the pace that Wemby had said, the Balkan brothers ran around the court for 5 minutes, put up some shots, and got subbed out for good. We can state a case in their defense that both of them were coming off of injuries and didn't want to re-aggravate anything, but let's be honest, they just don't care. On the contrary, the other world representatives took their job seriously.
Moving the ball from side to side. And that's realism. This cat, the big cat, not a bad shot afterwards. I could actually finish in real plays. Good pass.
Siakam guides it home.
To shoot the rock. Playing with a special talent like Ogden.
Oh, that's deep from Karl Anthony Towns.
The big cat was in his groove, but so were the young USA stars.
Double in and stop this world team. There's a steal. Cunningham chased by Murray and a let it fly.
And when's the last time you've seen a steal like that with a denial?
Team in this game as Powell misses. Oh, Murray went up and couldn't jam it. So they got that mandatory timeout, and then they just took one. They're out, and he is out running. Jalen Johnson showing off the bunnies for helping guide them to the finals last year. The takeaway. Barnes got the hand in the cookie jar. It's a 5-on-4, and Johnson goes right to the rack.
The world lost the early lead, and Wembanyama had to do something about it.
Give it to him, Red.
Yeah.
Oh! I told you.
There's that full 8-foot wingspan in full effect. And Towns, the defense to offense with a big man starring in Inglewood.
Another monster spike off the backboard by De'Arian led to a thunderous jam by Towns. As much ground as Victor covered, he couldn't stop everyone by himself.
Joining here in his first All-Star game.
Holmgren flying into the rim. The world defensively feeling good right now. Step away, Holmgren, Booker, drive, kick, Edwards, good look.
The Ant-Man ties the game with 13 seconds left, leaving the world the last possession. But check out the suffocating defense at the end.
Shot clock off. 5 seconds left.
Wemby wants this.
Wembanyama, bounce it. Someone has to get it off. It's Powell, the former Clipper.
Powell misses the contested three, and we go to overtime in the All-Star game. Unbelievable. Edwards was adamant to win the jump ball versus the Giant, but he just made himself look funny.
You keep going to the jump ball. What's about, you're confident, but what?
Yeah, I'm trying to beat him in the jump ball. Yeah, I'm trying to beat him. Yeah. But I ain't gonna lie, the ref kind of like putting the ball all the way towards him. He already 8 feet tall. He got to put it on my side and throw it towards me, so I got an advantage.
Anyway, the rules were simple. Whoever gets to 5 points first wins the game.
We're playing now, people. Look at this.
Against his former teammate. Tries to get past, and he finds the space for two.
And opens the score, but Wemby strikes right back.
It's a pick and pop, and it's Wemby. For oh, 3-2 world.
It's 3-2 for the world now, and whatever you do, just don't allow a three.
Guard the three. He did. Booker gets caught.
Yeah, give it up. That's right.
Cunningham.
Shooting over here. Don't spread out.
Oh, for the win. Here it goes. Scotty Barnes.
And look at Victor. He is so...
Oh my goodness! Scotty Barnes calls game like it's the playground, while Victor was fuming at his teammates for letting him get off a shot. You could tell that this meant a lot to him. Moving on to the second game between the youngsters and the old heads of U.S. basketball.
But it's Durant who wins it, and Durant who knocks it down.
Brown to KD for the three, and Steph celebrating from the bench felt emotional. But then I remembered that the world belongs to the youth.
All that's missing is courage. And you can see the strikes are switching everything.
Anthony Edwards. He can get upstairs in a blink.
And blows past LeBron for the two-handed jam. Still, the elders were ready to put up a fight.
He nurses an injury. And LeBron James finds nylon.
And they're still here by Kawhi.
And a three from Kawhi.
Quick points in a matter of what? 5 seconds?
Back-to-back threes by James and Kawhi got the crowd buzzing. And Jaylen Brown just added a little more spice to the occasion.
Now it's Leonard off to the races. Brown running the floor. Jaylen Brown with a booming finish.
If James was able to throw this putback down, the building would have exploded.
He tried for the putback instead of get free throws.
Nothing came easy last night. Guys were fouling hard whenever they saw someone having an open way to the basket. Well, except for JB. He was rocking in this game.
Them to make the deal to send Trae Young to Washington and build around. You can build around this guy. Another springboard slam for Jaylen Brown. Jalen Johnson.
Shout out to Jalen Rose, the originator.
He says that Jaylen Brown
was one of one. Yes, he was. He was one of
He was the first.
Brown was in his bag, scoring a team-high 11 points, and he could have gotten the play of the night right here. But
Just past the midway point of this second game. Lob it. Jaylen Brown couldn't finish it.
wow, Jaylen just misses the alley-oop stuff, but on the replay, we see that he was clearly fouled by Holmgren. I'm telling you, it was lit. The OGs had the slight lead in the middle of the game, but that's when the Young Guns decided to turn up a notch.
The Knicks in '94 in our place going down on Patrick and Sir Charles Oakley.
Here's a lob, and Edwards. That's a no-doubter.
The one that didn't count was in slam.
Yeah,
It looked
see,
good.
that's my
Yeah.
point. So
See?
it still works. It still counts as a poster.
That's
Prove it
right.
on.
Gave you a dollar. Camera on it, like no pressure.
Yeah,
You're a star now.
Hey, correct. Come on. Your name Precious.
Yes.
You're built for this moment. As Fox turns it over, Barnes was ahead of the pack. They couldn't find him initially. Edwards soars instead.
Down by 2 with under 2 minutes remaining, the Youngsters almost stole another ball, but Donovan Mitchell was lucky to pick up the trash and drill the triple to put his team up by 5. And after Booker was able to cut the lead to 3 for a moment on this putback layup, the King went out for the dagger.
Hey, KD. That's where you find KD.
How about a logo? LeBron. Logo Bron.
Bang! With 60 seconds left, a 6-point lead should be enough, right? Well, not when you play against some of the most electrifying players in the league.
6-point game with a minute to play. Cunningham downhill for 2. Take down by 4.
3 would go a long way here for Team Stars. Out his left-hand shot. Out his left-hand shot.
Edwards shaking big for the deuce. Mitchell. What a pick by Edwards. No numbers. Edwards for the lead. He's got it. He's doing the same thing he did in game one.
Jeez, Anthony Edwards caps off an electric 7-0 blitz to put his team up by 1 with time winding down. So can the Stripes find someone to be their savior?
James inside, out. Fox, punt. Fox for the win. Swiper delivers, and the Stripes claim game 2.
De'Aaron Fox wins the game at the buzzer. 2 game winners in a row. Are you kidding me? The All-Star game is so back. After witnessing 2 insane games, we already knew what's in store for game number 3. But what actually took place completely blew away our wildest expectations.
7 years old. And he is done for the rest of the night as Wembanyama knocks the rim. And he said, all right, call an offensive foul there. And now he's hoping to lead his team to the heights that they have grown accustomed to. Did that touch the...
Well, he knows these rims, dog.
But did that drop
It did.
the top of the backboard? Well, that goes down for Kawhi Leonard, and Wembanyama making his presence felt again. Some real force along with LeBron and KD, the veterans of this game showing out for Team Stripes. And once again, Kawhi too strong.
Kawhi Leonard and Victor Wembanyama started trading buckets on buckets, leading their star-studded rosters to a really hot start. And Wemby finally got some help as they faced a must-win scenario.
Clear out for this guy anyway. Wemby over Durant. Think about that. Say it again.
Okay, Reds, hold on.
The student can't quite be the master yet. Murray step away. Hits for 3. Get it up ahead. Out the lob, and Siakam slam.
Wemby swishes it over Durant and Siakam comes up flying in transition to put the world up by 7 points. But after the timeout, they fell into a real trouble when...
And then he can do that for 3. That's what makes him unfair. Game after he struggled in his first one. Leonard, now he's really feeling it. Hits again. Kawhi Leonard burying it left and right.
Right here. Old teammate, right here.
Two-time teammate. Kawhi Leonard. He is scorching. The joy is back for the Claw.
The Claw knocked down 3 consecutive threes to tie the game in a blink of an eye. And after another miss by the World, the takeover by the hometown hero was in full swing.
Oh, he knows where he's going.
Clear out. How hot? Clear out. How hot? This is going to be white hot.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
White hot. White hot. He's got 11 straight where he's grinning ear to ear, and it's a timeout from Team World.
Kawhi unlocked God mode, sending the entire arena into a delirium. Even Giannis' son was cheering for Leonard, so he had to stop him and show him how it's supposed to be done. Victor couldn't stand this, so he picked up the Claw by himself.
He goes right into the body. He's got the pump. Wemby had to swap on a foul against the big 3 in Boston. It's Leonard again.
Come on, man.
Leonard will pull. And he finally misses one.
Kawhi finally misses one, but shows Wemby that he's elite on the other end as well.
But you love how the other great guys.
The cookies and milk. Kawhi Leonard.
The steal and the slam for Leonard got him the 23rd point out of the total 35. That's ridiculous. So in the clutch, the Frenchman and the silent guy pulled out their heavy artillery.
Wemby's 3. Bullseye. What an answer. Vanilla, Area 51, or VJ Max.
Ooh. I like Area 51 as well.
Leonard. Al on the drive. Wemby for the lead. And he gets it.
Victor has that Mamba mentality. He's not backing down from anybody. And after Jaylen Brown inexplicably missed the wide open layup here, the World got a 3-point lead when Powell was able to pick up Murray's miss and lay it back up in the basket. But then...
dangerous pass finds Leonard. He's got the contact. Yes, they're going to count. They're going to count. Too strong. Kawhi Leonard has been in the weight room.
This casual and one by Kawhi got everyone on their feet. The US were celebrating while Luka was looking for a travel. They even mentioned getting a challenge. It was that intense. And things got completely out of hand when...
If they win by 3 or more, it's an auto. That's a slew block. That's recovered by Durant. Body's hitting the floor. Brunson has the pass. And look who's there. The King gets upstairs for the follow. Strike by 2. Wemby is fouled.
Wow, LeBron James follows the miss with a huge putback jam and then smacks down Wembanyama so hard on the other end that Victor needed a few moments to get his nerves back in place. They were out for blood. Wemby showed his Shaolin composure and drained both free throws to tie the game again. Here we go. The temperature is about to reach the boiling point.
Got a screen from LeBron. Switch with Towns. This is the matchup they want. 5 to shoot. Leonard. Cross. Step back 3. He's got it! Straight cash for Kawhi. This dude is unreal.
Damn, is he even human? Leonard rounds up his brilliant performance in front of his own crowd with the biggest shot of the night. But still, Wemby had 4 seconds to save the world.
It's going to Cat. Got the catch. Wemby's open. And Team Stripes is moving on. Team World is eliminated.
Head up, Victor. You did everything you could. A magnificent display of will and skill for the 22-year-old phenom. He posted 33 points across 2 quarters on 10 of 13 shooting. Now, imagine if Giannis and SGA were on the court as well. We definitely want to see more of this format in the future. The so-called championship game between the young and the old US squad turned into a one-sided affair after all that tension in the first 3 quarters. The pressure legs prevailed as Tyrese Maxey and Anthony Edwards pressed the pedal to the metal and ran the legends off the court.
With 5. On the drive and finish. The van for Team Stripe. Edwards. Book in. Explosive athleticism when he came in as a rookie. This is what he's at it. Now 3-point.
And for being the best player on the winning team, Ant was crowned the MVP. But even he thought that Kawhi should be the one bringing home the Kobe Bryant trophy.
I didn't think I was gonna win MVP. I ain't really do too much, but
Who would you think was going to win?
I thought they were gonna get the Kawhi.
Yeah, I had a vote.
Yeah.
I did vote for you. So you don't blame me for that?
No.
Okay.
Kawhi answered Wemby's call. They both put on a spectacle. At the end, even Nikola wanted an autograph by the alien.
Who's the alien? I want the alien.
So yeah, thank you Victor for restoring our beloved weekend. I'm sure the entire world shares my opinion. These couple of days in LA turned out to be great, and I recapped the All-Star Saturday as well, where we saw a near-death experience by one of the dunk contestants. Click right here to check it out and talk to you in the next one. Peace out.
Ah, fuck. getting hit for no reason. For no reason, even though there is the reason. I'm gonna die. Help me. My playstyle doesn't fit this shit. Doesn't fit this fight at all. Dark Souls speedrun na sin.
Hey guys, I'm QQ. I'm the current world record holder for Dark Souls 90%, which is what we're going to be showcasing today. I'm joined by my friend Metal Llama. You don't run the game, but you're an avid viewer, so I feel like you'll be able to add a lot to this commentary, which is good.
Of course, I'm really excited to see you show off this amazing run
What
on the stage here.
Yeah, the first time I ever saw Dark Souls was at a GDQ. Like, well, not saw, but saw a run of it. So I'm really excited to be able to showcase everything here. But I'm ready to go pretty much whenever. So, you want a countdown or?
You can give us one, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So timer start on go. So 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck, have fun.
So as I mentioned, this is Dark Souls 90%. We can pretty much do whatever we want in order to beat the game as fast as possible. And you're gonna see some, usual stuff that you see, like get the Lord Vessel, ring a couple bells now and then. But around a year or so ago, we found this new glitch in this game, ladder storage. And you're gonna see just how powerful it is pretty quickly into the run. But right now, I actually started this tonight for 2 reasons. 1, because of how I look right now. And 2, because it's actually a little bit safer to run with that. Just because we'll have a little bit more HP. But because there are a couple things in this route that will just obliterate you because you are just so squishy early on. But that was the Arsalan Demon, definitely the easiest fight in this run. Just throw a quick 5 fire bombs at him. So, Just gonna run past this archer real quick. This Asylum, very stock standard if you're used to seeing Dark Souls runs, but it's gonna take a quick turn right after we talk to Oscar. So I'm just gonna go through here real quick and do some inventory stuff. And I'm gonna showcase the first glitch of the run. It's a very minor one. It's technically slower RTA, but I like it. You break this wall with your body because you're just that strong. Like, you're this little string bean guy, just beef jerky, but your body just smashes through it. And it is actually faster to talk to Oscar than to kill him, so you should always do that. And I'm gonna backstep through this, and then start baiting this hollow over. And he actually followed me immediately, which is very good.
Very
so,
nice.
if you've never seen this before, you're like, why is he baiting this hollow over? Why don't you just leave the Asylum? Well, I'm going to be setting up something called ladder storage, which, as the name implies, I store a state of being on a ladder. So right here, I actually need him to be at a little bit different of an angle. There we go.
All right, perfect.
Nice.
First try there.
So right now, I interacted with the ladder on the same frame that I riposted him. So the game still thinks that I'm on a ladder. So if I was to run out of stamina right now, I would just go into this free fall animation where you just in place and then just fall. But because the game still thinks that I'm on a ladder, there's a certain amount of things that behave differently. One, I can't drop an item. And two, my stable ground isn't being refreshed. Like, it just constantly thinks that I'm on that one spot, even though I'm running around. And we're gonna use that in a second. But I'm gonna focus up right here because I don't wanna get hit. That will break ladder storage.
Yeah, so this run up to Undead Berg is one of the most stressful parts of the whole run right here. He is just expertly weaving through these enemies, making sure he doesn't get hit, and he does not lose all of his stamina, because that will put him into ladder fall animation, which is what he needs to do a really cool trick that's coming up here. So, all right.
Oh my God.
That pattern was a little tricky there. That jump attack comes at you so quick, but now we're coming up to it. Good thing that little stagger there doesn't do anything bad. And now we're going to do a little bit of a glitch up here. All right, we should be in the clear at least here, but now Cuckoo needs to do some. Now he needs to do some purchases or unpurchases.
Yeah, so right now I'm gonna buy a couple things that I'm gonna be using later in the run. Sorry for our viewers, I actually need the mouse on the screen for a second. Hold on. There we go. Okay, I'll take it off for you guys, don't worry. So right there, I was actually tricking the game into giving me negative of an item. So in a second, I'm gonna just punch this wall, because punching the wall actually, one, relieves anger, and two, gets rid of ladder storage. So, oh wait, hold on. Let's see. Hold on. I'm just relining up on this one spot because I need to get back there in a sec. There we go. So I dropped negative 68 of them. So the game just gives me 68 fire bombs, which is awesome. But right now, if you remember how I said earlier that the game still thinks that I'm up in Asylum, well, if I do this correctly, the game will reload me at Asylum, and it's gonna be a little weird to see. So one sec. That looked good.
That's good.
Nice. Asylum is just directly above Undead Parish. So I just skipped like around 2 minutes of pure running, not even including the boss fight that you'd have to do. So huge time save.
Perfect. Awesome. And so we have just skipped the Taurus Demon and a lot of running up through Undead Berg up to the Undead Parish here.
I have a boar following me. I'm gonna get Giga bored.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, he can technically get you, but it's not a big deal. This is pretty much the only safety put out that I'm gonna do here, just because there's a ton of enemies that will just chase you to the ends of the earth, and I do not want them following you, because they will just get fucked. But right here, I'm gonna be doing a pretty famous glitch in this game called Some Gate Skip. I'm gonna use a death cam mechanic in order to basically skip having to ring the initial 2 bells to access the midpoint of the game. Oh, I actually did. There we go. So right now, I'm in death cam. The game thinks that I'm dead, But as you can see, I'm not dead. And because the game thinks I'm dead, it's not going to actually load in any new assets. But everything that was there before is still interactive. So like this bonfire right here, oh, I didn't kill that Apollo, but I should be fine.
Should be fine. I didn't see it running towards you, but
Yeah.
you just decide to be faster rather than safer.
Yeah.
No worries.
Normally there's a bridge right here, the texture just isn't visible right now. And because
Oh my
I
god.
triggered the death cam up there, the gate descent fortress just is not there. So I'm just able to run in without ringing either bell. Then it just skipped having to ring either the bell at the Clay Life or the bell for Dark Souls. So we do have to go do that later. But yeah, right now we just need access to our big heavy hitting weapon in the game. And that'll make the early bosses in the game go by much quicker. So right now is actually a pretty good time for donations.
Awesome. We have $50 from Drake Slow. He says, donating for the Dark Lord ending of Dark Souls. I've been watching GDQ since 2013, introduced it to the lady that became my wife in 2017, and have now introduced it to our new son. I hope to see him up on the stage with you all someday. Thank you so much for the amazing work you all do, and cheers to the next generation.
Nice. So right there, I actually just did another major glitch in the game called move swapping, which is going to be our main damage source for pretty much the entire game. You'll see exactly how powerful it is. Oh, there you go. So I just did a little thing right there. I didn't avoid all the damage, but it just skipped the foot out. It was cool. You just like shift your body to a point where the bolt just does not hit you. So, but for move swapping, right now, as you can see, my reinforced club is two-handed in my left hand, which normally in Dark Souls 1 is not a thing you can do. That's the thing that they added in Dark Souls 2. And because it's not a two-handed mechanic, the game doesn't really know what to do with your running attack, rolling attack, or plunging attack. So it just borrows the moveset from the right-hand weapon, in this case being the rapier, which has a fast-hitting double-hit running attack, which we are going to abuse the ever-living crap out of for some of the other bosses. You're gonna see how broken the mechanics are of this game in a little bit. Like some of your favorite bosses are just super trivialized by a lot of things, which personally I'm a fan of. I don't like bosses, but I speedrun FromSoft games, which is kind of weird. I just like the tech. But everyone say hi to Bob. Everyone's favorite, with quotations, NPC. And so this is the first actual boss of the run. I'm gonna use. Oh, I still have my other prompt on. It thought that I did a mouse click right there. So let's just restart this real quick.
No worries.
All right. Now I'm gonna do 2 precise bomb throws. 1, 2. Okay, they only nice. Alright, we do a running attack, and then a couple more fire bombs. Normally, in any percent, without a little safety strat, you have to do a glitch called frame duping. So you have to do this frame perfect trick to duplicate 3 additional fire bombs, like subsequently, to actually do that fight really quickly. But if you dupe them, you don't got to do that. So I'm really glad that that safety strat exists. There was a funny workaround that we had to do earlier, but even still, that fight was a little hard, mainly because of that initial aim setup. But right now, we're just going through Anne Alonzo, and honestly, you can read off a couple more donations right now. It's just a little bit rough.
Absolutely. I want to give everyone a quick update on the bid war for Choose the Game Ocarina of Time versus Majora's Mask. Majora's Mask has taken a sizable lead, but what I want to let you all know is that in the practice area backstage just recently, Bubsia did PB in Ocarina of Time. So if you want to see that, get those bids in, and we do have a $15 donation from Anonymous who says, I taught my kids to say, hey, listen, and I have regrets, but I don't have regrets about donating for Ocarina of Time.
Nice. So right here, I'm just gonna put on some armor real quick, just because you guys can hit me. Okay, he didn't.
These Painted Guardians can be very annoying, either throwing knives
I've
at
heard
you
that.
or giving you a nice backstab. This one over here is... Yeah, you saw how close that was, and QQ managed to give it a little punch to make sure that it did not bother him too much.
Thanks to AEIOU for that strat. You just give him a little... And then he usually backs away, but right there he was just really determined. So I'm just gonna do this real quick. Right now I was just looking backwards because sometimes he can just follow you over. And if he does follow you over, it can be kind of funny because if he follows you, he can just get stuck like up there. It's really silly. But right now I can actually get a couple more donations, just a bit more running.
Absolutely. I want to update everyone on some of the incredible incentives and bid wars and milestones we have going on. The milestone for Donkey Kong Bonanza is actually making a great headway. It's only $68,000 left on that. That is 94% of the way there, but we are running out of time for getting that added to the schedule. That is going to be coming up sooner than you may think. So do keep in mind that that is cumulative. All donations go towards the milestone incentives.
Alright. I'm just going to ask for a little bit of quiet here just because I need to hear the archers and imps.
Those enemies behaved by not throwing lightning either.
Yeah, up here on the left is another one that... looks like he's actually going to be nice, which is good. Okay, there we go. We're through. Is he?
That's nice.
Silver Knight archers? He was shoving them off. It's fine. Alright. So, in a second, after I level up, we're actually just barely going to have enough souls to get all the levels that we need. But I'm going to be getting the main weapon I'm going to be using throughout the run, the Dragon Tooth, which chunks everything that it touches. It's so powerful, and we're not even going to upgrade it. It's just that good. And in combination with meat swapping, it's just going to tear through everything. But let's just go grab that real quick. For the most part, all of Anor Londo is very standardized at this point. There's a couple things that just have a little bit more variance to them, like the Painting Guardians before. But aside from that, it's kind of just a large running segment. But yeah, up next we're gonna showcase another really major glitch that we're gonna do. It's enemy AFK via toggles, and I'm gonna hand that over to Metal Llama in a second when we get there.
Yep, once we get ran up a little bit here. We're coming up on possibly the most notorious set of bosses in Dark Souls 1, Ornstein and Smo, but QQ's about to do a glitch in the game which will hopefully trivialize the fight by not letting the enemy AI activate. So enemy AI accounts for player aggroing on the player every 150 frames, every 5 seconds. But if you do a weapon toggle, equipping or unequipping during that 151st frame, they will not aggro the player. As you see right here, they're just standing there and not attacking or approaching QQ. So he's able to get some really solid hits on Ornstein here before that they have any chance to react, and he gets Ornstein down in just a few hits with a Dragon Tooth. And now we're already on phase 2 of Smo. All right, he's shoveling right now, which is a little unlucky, but every single running attack with the move-swapped Dragon Tooth staggers Smo. With one more right here, he's got both of them down.
Yeah, every running attack from the Dragon Tooth does 40 poise damage, and Smo has 80 poise, so every cycle of the running attacks just stagger locks him infinitely. So it's super good, as long as that boss actually has poise, so, which a lot of them do.
But yeah, that was incredibly solid.
Yeah, definitely. I'm very happy with how that went. Oh, hold on, I missed that one. Yeah, it's faster to kill her, by the way, so don't think I'm a monster.
And now we have the Lord Soul. Now we can warp.
So I'm gonna do a little bit of cursory warping, just to like set up another segment after this. But I'm gonna just do a very long string of toggles to do another AFK. So if you want to read donations up to the next boss.
Absolutely. There's a lot of love for you out here. There's $25 from Peter, who says, nearly 13 years ago, QQ introduced me to Dark Souls when we were in high school together. Now, all these years later, it's amazing to finally see you here on the big stage. I'm so proud of all you've accomplished, and I'm cheering you on from back home. We also have a shout out for your armor, which is $100 from Seanzilla that says, this armor is awesome, Q. And this also goes towards the Marley cosplay too. So if you want to see more cosplay throughout AGDQ, make sure you take a look at the open Marley cosplay incentive for Chrono Trigger. We were 37% through that. There's $22,000 remaining on the incentive. If I could do math, that would have gone better.
Yeah, so that didn't look quite like an AFK, but it worked just fine. So
Yeah.
I missed one of the counts. I was appreciating the donation messages. Thank you, guys.
So you know how we skipped the gate for Sen's Fortress, which normally opens when you ring the 2 bells? Well, to beat the game, you still need to ring the 2 bells. So we are back to the Bell Gargoyles here, and we're gonna take quick work of them because they just get chunked so hard by the Dragon Tooth. But we are now going to ring the first bell here.
Yeah, the Dragon Tooth is awesome. Sick weapon. Oh, hold on. You can do the move swap off of the ladder if you missed that earlier during the walk up, but I just messed it up there. Let's do it again. There you go. So it's just like during any bufferable animation. Normally I do it off of a jump, but right now, since we rang the first bell, obviously the second part is to go through Blighttown and go through Quelaag. First we gotta do a little pit stop though and just kill this guy.
And goodbye, Lortrek.
Yeah. We actually, we kill him for 2 reasons. We like killing him because he's a jerk. And he disables the bonfire, which we need. But right now, I'm actually setting up a skip called Blighttown Skip, which will allow me to skip past pretty much all of the swamp section of Blighttown and just go straight into Quelaag's domain. So right now, I'm doing something called a transition clip, which basically confuses the game into sending me out of bounds right now. So I'm just falling down this ladder, this elevator shaft, onto a pixel-wide seam right here. And now if I do another precise aim setup, let me see. My helmet is like right in the way it's supposed to. So
You're nerfing yourself right now.
I think it's right here. Let's go. Okay.
This is notoriously hard.
Okay, I missed it. Hold on.
I think we're good. Yeah, you recovered it there.
So there's no death plane there, so I could have just kept falling for like 30 seconds, and oh, there we go. Okay, it's fine. The bonfire is right above. It's okay. I think it was because of the helmet.
It's an unintentional challenge, or an intentional challenge run.
Yeah.
I do want to make one last call for the ending choice for Dark Souls. The Dark Lord has taken a sizable lead, but Link the Fire is not that far behind, and we will only have another 5 or 10 minutes for that. So we do have $5 from Darkstalker Kaith that says, Undead Warriors, join me in donating for the Dark Lord ending. Let true dark be cast upon the world.
And this is just a very hard setup in even the best of circumstances. Once he gets on that pixel-wide seam, it is a very tough navigating to the spot where he's going to do the trick to get down to right before Quelaag.
Yeah, because it is a pixel wide and it's visible, so it's a little bit difficult. But that's once you actually get there and don't fall off and die.
You got this.
Yeah, I'm fine. Watch this. I land on it. Ooh.
There we go. We're not out of the woods yet. We're not out of the woods yet.
Oh, see, right there.
You saved it, I think.
I did. All right. Okay. Okay, and up here I'm gonna do a delayed roll off of a plunge, which is a fancy way of saying that I'm gonna avoid. Oh, hold on. I forgot to plunge. I was looking for the Z key. I have to physically look down at the keyboard. Because everything below this is just invisible for me. Nice.
Perfect. No poison swamp getting shown off today.
I hate swamps. Miyazaki loves them. I hate them. All right. Now, hopefully Koilog doesn't jump at me. Wow.
Wow, that is the first time I've seen her not jump for you today.
Yeah, I've done practice runs all day. Every time. Oh, very nice. Okay.
All right.
I'm just gonna go like this. And one more hit.
And there's Quelaag.
Yep. Oh, I need to go this way. Koilog, honestly, in this route, if you're trying to go really fast, is harder than Ornstein Smough. Just because of all the lava placement, just kind of messing with you, and her leg collision just being so bad. It's just a lot of variance and kind of annoying. But right now, we're actually going to be getting ready to go to the end of the game. Wow. How are you going to get to the end of the game without having done pretty much anything? Well, we're going to use something called a homeward wrong warp with our best friend Petrus, who has an amazing haircut. I mean, if you're a fan of like a certain pop star in, like the late 2000s, we're just going to say hi to him. Shout outs to Regal, by the way. Let's see. Would that please you? I have to say yes. And another benefit of the night starting class is we don't actually have to join his little club because we're already part of it, which saves the joining animation, which saves like about 6 seconds, which is very nice. Right now, I'm just gonna put some talismans on, and then we're gonna rest at the Lord Vessel. And it's important that we rest here. One, because that unlocks the Lord Vessel. And two, because it sets our last bonfire here. And that is important because of this next thing that I'm going to do, which is the homeward wrong warp. Let me get my keyboard set up.
This is a very precise set of inputs here. Almost like an Ocarina of Time level setup.
Okay. Hold on. Where's this key? Okay, so that's a double frame perfect trick that I just did.
And there we go. We have wrong warped into the kiln of the first flame.
Yeah. So we tricked the game into because we warped right when we rested at the bonfire. The game didn't know where to send us because normally it just sends you to the last bonfire. But because we updated it last second, it got confused. So it just sent us to the default location of the last bonfire that we rested at, which case being the Lord Vessel. And it just so happens that the Lord Vessel's default location is at the start of the last area of the game. So we skipped like 18 minutes of content, technically.
Are you ready to hear what ending you're gonna get?
I am ready.
With $2,440 versus $1,826, we will be doing the Dark Lord.
Nice.
All right.
All right. So, lastly, leading up to this, normally we do end the run with a parry, but Gwyn is kind of not that friendly to us, and will probably just kill me if I try to parry him, especially during a marathon. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to running attack him over and over again, and then we'll determine it. Parrying him is about 6 seconds faster because it just skips his super long death animation. And I'm just going to go about 180 degrees behind him over and over again. Okay, I died.
Ooh.
That's why I said he's not very nice to us. He can just jump away or just do a fast swing at you and just kill you. So it was bound to happen. The run was going too well. But it's fine. We'll just redo the double frame perfect thing because I'm good at the game.
You're just that good.
Yeah. That was honestly like the best way that I could have died to Gwyn. Just like the most unavoidable, well, not unavoidable, but just like unexpected thing to happen, which is a good thing in my eyes. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Yeah.
Just easy, just easy. Honestly, you should have made it look a little harder. It's
Yeah.
almost looking too easy.
Yeah, I should have failed it a couple times. All right. Here we go again. I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill him so hard. But if you guys want to read off some donations, feel free. Or not.
It's okay, we're almost there.
Yeah, we're almost there. We're almost back.
Gwen's
This
not
guy,
gonna know what
this
he's
guy
gonna
can
hit him.
clip you right here. Hopefully he doesn't. Okay, there we go. I was practicing earlier, and he has not hit me since 2021. He hit me earlier. I was like, I'm glad we got that one out of the way. Everything that could have gone wrong went wrong in practice earlier, so I'm glad that everything has gone the way it has today. Let's see. These guys, pretty much none of them, like these last couple ones, are actually threatening at all. Oh, hold on. Maybe if you do that too fast. Alright, hold on. And for some reason, that one doesn't spawn if you just quit out here. He just vanishes. There we go. Okay.
All right, let's do it.
We're dancing. This is actually really hard, by the way. And
There we go. Now it's time for the Dark Lord ending.
All right. I don't want to like go up against the fog gate there because Black Knights can just kill me. So
And that's time, right?
Oh, I skipped the ending.
Oh.
Well, we're evil. We walk up and there's a bunch of snakes. And that is Dark Souls 80%. Thank you guys for having me. It was a blast to be here. First time being at a live event. It's been great. I love GDQ, so.
Didn't you want to take your helmet off?
Oh yeah, hold on. It is hot. Hold on.
He's been complaining about the heat the whole time he's had the armor on.
My face. Hi guys. Where's the camera? Hi. I haven't been able to see anything this whole time. So. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for having us. If you're interested in learning Dark Souls 1 or any of the Dark Souls games like Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, Elden Ring, Bloodborne, Demon Souls, if you want to learn, just come to the Souls speedrunning Discord and community. We love new runners. And we love helping new runners. Shout outs to everyone at Soul Speedrunning, like Regal, AEIOU, Eloise, who found Ladder Storage. Shout outs to my wonderful partner, Ivy, my brother, Andrew, and everyone else, all of my friends who might be watching. Metalama.
Just shout outs to Games Done Quick and keep tuning in for the rest of the marathon. There's so many amazing runs coming up, and let's keep on raising money for Prevent Cancer Foundation. Thank you for having us.
So, yeah, I'm doing the thing again. In October of 2021, which feels like an eternity ago, I did a pretty unusual video by my standards at least. It was a feature-length retrospective talking about a traditional TV show rather than a video game. Specifically, I discussed Azumanga Daioh and what made it work so well for me. It's a series that's just so easy to fall in love with its charming cast of characters, their entertaining, funny relationships with each other, and the relatable struggles they go through in their day-to-day lives. I was never huge into anime, but Azumanga gave me a deeper appreciation of it, more than I've ever had in my life anyway. Safe to say I wanted more. I still have a huge backlog of shows that I'd like to watch at some point, you know, slice-of-life comedy stuff. Partially because I wasn't so sure I was ready to jump into some weird shonen stuff that preaches about how friendship can literally stop the apocalypse, featuring huge mech battles, or something like that. I mean, that stuff sounds cool and all, but after watching Azumanga, I was in the mood for shows similar to it. You know, some more lighthearted, wholesome fun to further ease me into anime. There were, so many options for what I could watch next. You know, Lucky Star, K-On!, Nanambiori, Hidamari Sketch, Yuru Yuri, all sorts of shows that I know about, but my choice became clear after only a little bit of consideration. If you're a fan of Azumanga Daioh and are looking for a similar show to watch, practically everyone will recommend one series in particular. Well, you saw this video and clicked on it, so I'm pretty sure you're able to infer what show I'm talking about here. Why, it's none other than My Ordinary Life, known in Japanese as simply Nichijou. I'll be using its Japanese name for brevity's sake. Just make sure not to get it confused with, I'm definitely going to butcher this, so I'm sorry to any potential Japanese viewers. Danshi Kokosei no Nichijou, or in English, Daily Lives of High School Girls. The Nichijou in this video is the one about the daily lives of high school girls, so if you came for the other one, you want to look elsewhere. In any case, if you've been living under a rock all these years and haven't heard of this series, well, I'll fill you in. Nichijou started pretty much the same way every other anime in existence. It was a manga, which for those who are unfamiliar, it's essentially just comics made in Japan. Nichijou was a prominent member of the slice-of-life genre, as I said already, as opposed to shonen, which in many cases can be paired with superhero comics here in the West. Nichijou and other manga, like it, are most comparable to Garfield or other such comic strips. It was originally serialized in 2006 by, I am so sorry once again, I'm going to butcher this name, Keiichi Arawi, and it would run until 2015. In 2011, an anime adaptation of animation. The same studio behind Lucky Star and K-On! Basically, they've adapted several cornerstones of the genre. Initially, it actually received relatively mixed reviews and had poor sales. Its anime adaptation was also a failure, and as a result, any possible plan for a second season were. I don't know exactly why it was so unsuccessful at first, but you know how that goes. They thought Socrates was a meth head when he was alive, but centuries later... Okay, kind of a bad example, but that wasn't the end of the story. Nichijou would gradually be vindicated by history. Distribution rights were eventually picked up by Funimation, who released the series on Blu-ray in the West in 2017. They even went on to produce an English dub 2 years later. Following this, Nichijou would be critically reassessed as a comedy masterpiece, and it would become one of, if not the most popular slice-of-life series ever. In fact, the retrospective love for Nichijou is so strong that the manga re-entered serialization right around the time I uploaded my Azumanga Daioh video. Weird how things can line up so perfectly like that, you know? In fact, some people who aren't keen on this genre stated that they enjoyed this particular series. I first heard about Nichijou around the same time I discovered Azumanga, so maybe around 2014 or 2015 or so. In fact, I found out about a lot of anime back then, but I never got around to watching any of them. I just didn't know where the hell to even watch them, and honestly wouldn't have wanted to back then because it would be all I'd be thinking about during high school classes. Also, let's be honest, I went to an all-boys high school, and if they found out that I was an anime watcher, I would be relentlessly making fun of so much. Anyway, come February 2021, I finally just found myself to watch Azumanga Daioh and fell in love with it. And that's when I set my sights on this series. Like I said, it's the #1 series that gets recommended to people who enjoy a show from the genre. So no shit, it would be my first choice. This is when I learned some pretty crazy things I never knew about it before, including the fact one of the main characters was actually a robot. Well, right now I have to watch this. That sounds fucking awesome. That by itself already sounds like a recipe for really funny scenarios. Over spring break last March, I started a free Crunchyroll trial to watch it, only to find out it was unavailable there, so I had to start a free trial of Funimation to watch it, only for it to be re-added to Crunchyroll after I had already seen it. I couldn't make this shit up if I tried. It's like the universe actually decided, yeah, fuck this guy in particular. Point is, I finally got to watch Nichijou for myself. I was excited to see what it had in store, and to see if I agreed with all the praise it had gotten over the years. I loaded up the first episode on Funimation and proceeded to spend the following evening and morning afterwards watching it. So, what did I think of it? Yeah, I kind of liked it. Well, I spoiled that.
Oh my
but,
god.
Nevertheless, this video won't be this insane hot take where I tear down a beloved piece of media. Nichijou lives up to the hype surrounding it and then some. Needless to say, that's why I'm making this video. To basically just share my enjoyment for yet another slice of life anime series with the world. Even if I don't end up saying new things or offering some new insight about it. Because, let's be honest, this video is probably going to be stuff you've heard about already. It's probably redundant to be doing this, but...
You're looking at the guy who made a whole retrospective on the Mario series. Do you think I cover hot topics?
As I did with Azumanga Daioh, I'll be solely focusing on the anime adaptation.
Oh my god.
That's why I read the manga during production of this video and the screencast the whole fucking thing, so that's why you can't see some manga panels right now.
No. Fun fact, I actually wrote a folder generator in Python to sort the manga panels, so that's kind of cool.
So with all that said, here it is. This is what makes Nichijou click for me, and no doubt so many other people.
No! I'm gonna did my shit.
I have to be perfectly honest about something though. Azumanga Daioh is a series that's not nearly as well known, nor as respected as it used to be in the, I don't know what else to call it, current...
I hate this fight.
So I really felt like I had something to say there. You know, something to add to the conversation. In the case of Nichijou though, like I said, I don't feel as confident in that regard, but I hope this is I enjoy regardless. I'm not really sure where to begin, so why not start with the basics? As mentioned, Nichijou is a slice-of-life comedy series. I haven't explained what the hell that even is, and people unfamiliar with anime terminology will probably confuse me on belief. Well, the term is a little nebulous and loosely defined, to be honest. When you hear the term, you think of shows like SpongeBob, or arguably something like early regular show, maybe. It's basically a subset of the comedy genre. Typically, they downplay strict continuity in favor of their humor. It's not that absolutely nothing happens in them, but the focus is placed on the characters, their daily experiences, and jokes above all else. Now, you might be naively asking, how the hell can a show that has no larger ongoing story be any good? Oh, my premise doesn't exactly sound exciting, but still, allow me to tell you how such a series can not only be good, but exceptional. This may spark some fierce debates, but I think that's a bit of yeah, personal taste and all, and if this genre just genuinely isn't your cup of tea, that's totally fair. These are just opinions on media, they're not going to hurt anyone. That being said, I still want to explain myself right here and now so that my perspective on this issue is clear. I have no clue if I'll ever make another video like this, so now's my chance. While my tastes tend towards more exciting or fast-paced stuff, because I find it cooler, I can get just as much enjoyment out of more laid-back, wholesome stuff when it's done well. There is absolutely a place for this genre, and I go so far as to say it's even refreshing to have a series like this. You know, where you can kick back and relax without having to worry about missing out on or remembering a bunch of crucial plot details. Where it's like SpongeBob.
This video is so freaking distracting. I don't wanna be here. Let me out of the sun. Let me out of the sun. I don't wanna be here. Yep. I got it. Snap this guy down. Game, bro. Oh my god. Seriously? I mean, this guy is gonna die. Okay. How do we get it? Should we cut the tail as well? No, it doesn't say anything here. Maybe we cannot cut the tail. Ugh. Maybe this could be it. This could be it. This one. This one. No. None. Maybe we should go with the good old skill. So if we can hit this. Should go with Kasarang. forgot I don't have any immunity. Why do I keep forgetting? Nice. Oh my god, Bullfango. Help me, boys. I can. Oh shit. Oh, I forgot. I forgot. I am not using. Help, boys. My boys not helping then. Help, boys. I'm relearning this skill. Died. HP. The fuck? Okay, this is the skill for this ogre. Help you, boys. up my healing as well. Oh. Fuck. Hurries. He's dying anyway. I wasn't here. It's coming. This one. Sync. I was about to say this was much more quicker. Okay, one last hunt. Make it a red this time. Shit. Stun, boys. Oh my god. Helpers. Keep getting stuck. I fucked up. Helpers. I'm gonna die. What are you walking for? You for real? Let me out! This guy really likes getting me cornered. Spine attacks. Fuck. Oh, finally got it. After the last hunt. Ugh. I think this is Diablos. Apex Diablos. It's not here. Maybe Apex Zinogre. It's Narwa. Narwa the Olmadir. Tadai hajimete kitsuita Koi ni ochita no tano Narwa the Old Mother. Asa mo makuha Narwa the Old Mother? Lahat. Ay, nakinig duha lagi. Under Serpent, Narwa the Old Mother. Judy chicken, kimmy. Aka Sama chica futari Yabashi-san achatta Tirin Nani tono Topi Shikokaido Kucha Kunsen What the old mother lagi ni Pang-master lang siguro na Serpent Goddess of Thunder. Thunder Serpent Narwa. Lucian. The Old Mother. Ah, kani. Kani nga quest. Delete na ko mga ko eh. Kasi ngayon sa TV. tila, ha? $75, $175, $196. Kaya mga Valstrax ni. Goodbye. Today 15. Wala ako na man ang visits ni 15 negative 30 negative 15 0 0 15 0 35 0 0 0 35 0 0 0 0 Ritson. Puro lagi ni puti niya. Kuha dito. Kuya wala yung kinilig. Equip it for the lulz. Sunod na sabi.